So hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how you can convert your MetaHuman into a static mesh. So the first thing that you have to do is you have to import your MetaHuman into Unreal Engine 5. So you can see I already import the MetaHuman. So the first thing that you have to do is you have to click on this one, double click on the blueprint class of your MetaHuman, and then you will see something like this. Okay, what you have to do, you have to just click on the viewport and you can see the different meshes of the MetaHuman there. So the first thing that you need to do is you have to click on the face like this. Then you have to click on this icon. It will be spawned to your this logo. What you have to do, you have to just right click. There is an option of asset action and export. Then you have to just select your directory. I will create a new folder and I will name it like girl, so it will be easier for you to navigate. And then you have to just save this thing. It will show something like this. You have to just untick everything. You don't need anything, just untick everything and make sure that you are using FBX 2013. Then click on export and then you can export this one. Click on this one, go to this one, right click, asset action, export, and then just go to that folder and then just save this thing and then export. So like this, you have to just export everything. So you have to just click like that and you have to just click on the export and then you have to export. Then you have to go to shoes, go to your shoes like that, like this. And I think the hands are left. You have to just click on this. Asset action, export, like this. Okay, so this is one way to do to get a static mesh of your MetaHuman. So you have to just go to your folder where you export all your files. When everything is imported, you can see everything is imported right there. You need to open your Blender and you have to just remove everything. Then you have to just go to file, import, and then in the FBX, you have to just copy the directory of this thing. I will just select everything, Control C, and you have to just paste there. So you will see everything like your meshes. So what you have to do, you have to just export it like this, select everything, and then you have to just turn off the animation and then import FBX. And you will see your mesh is exported like this. And for me, I don't want this rig stuff because I am rigging this thing in another software. I'm not using the MetaHuman rig, so I will just remove this thing. What you have to do, I will recommend you to do not export everything like at once. You can do like import FBX. You can do one by one because it will be easier for you to like clean up the meshes. Just press Alt P and then clear meshes. Now you can just remove this thing and you can see the hands are just like this. Then you have to just go to files, import FBX, then import this one, select everything, Alt P, clear transform, and you can remove this thing also. Then you have to go to file again, import FBX. You have to just do it like this for every meshes, Alt P, clear transform, and now you can just remove these things. So you can see I remove every all the bones of the MetaHuman, and you can see. So why I did this? Okay, so because I want to modify this mesh into Blender, that's why I remove all the joints. It just reduces the complexity, because if there is all kind of meshes over there, it will just very hard to do the things. And what I will do at the end, like I will export this whole mesh into Aquarig. So if you don't know about Aquarig, I already make a tutorial on Aquarig. You can watch that thing. I will put the link in the description. You can see that tutorial for how to rig this static mesh into like movable stuff. So now you can see that I import a helmet and I want to attach this helmet to the MetaHuman. So that's why I export this thing into like Blender to modify this thing. So it is very easy to do the modification into Blender compared to Unreal Engine. So that's why I just exported this thing into Blender to modify. And if you don't want to do this type of stuff and you just want to like convert this MetaHuman into a static mesh, then what you can do, you have to just click on this one, go to your actor, then there you will see an option called convert BP villain to static mesh. You have to just click on this, select your directory, and then save it. Okay, so and it will be like converted into a static mesh, and you can use that thing for your background purpose, like anything. Okay, but for me, I want to modify this MetaHumans, so that's why I export this thing into Blender to modify this thing. Okay, so now you can see I modify my character and it is looking something like that. So I just replace her face with this hoodie and this mask, and I think it is looking quite cool. And yeah, it is working perfectly fine. And you have to just make sure that when you add this type of things, make sure that you do proper UV editing for these things, or else it will create problems at the future when you export this thing into Unreal Engine. So make sure that you have like proper UVs in this one. And then what you have to do, you have to just go to your main layout section and you have to just select everything, and then you have to just click on file, export FBX. You have to save your directory. I will. And then when you select your location, you have to just make sure that you are selecting copy, enable this thing, select object, visible object, just select mesh, go there, untick the bake option, and then you have to just export this thing. So now we properly export the mesh into XPX file. Now I want to export, like not export, like import that thing in Blender. So you have to just go to the location where you save your mesh. Mine is there. What you have to do, you have to just save the folder where you want to import your mesh. And I will go to my file. I will just drag drop my file, FBX file, and it will be show something like this. You have to just leave everything like that. You have to press import. So you can see my meshes are imported properly. And now what you have to do, you have to just select your static mesh. I will filter this thing like that. And you can just select this one and you can drag drop this thing like that. Okay. So now see, everything is looking same, but there is no texture, but we can easily fix this texture issue. So in order to fix the texture, what you have to do, you have to just select your mesh and you can just go to your like the blueprint option. You have to double click this thing, and then what you have to do, you have to just select your, like suppose I want to add the face one. Okay, I will select the face and you will see like this element. Okay, so I will just select this one. You will see it is already selected, and then you have to just minimize this thing. You have to go to this one and I will hide this girl mask like this. I will select the face like this. You have to go to your detail panel and you have to just match the name. So for me it is like this one. So you can see the mesh is properly connected like this. Okay, so I removed her nose because of the mask. So in your case it will be not looking like this, it will be perfectly matching with this one. So like this, you have to just assign everything, all the textures of your nose, like this hair, eyebrows, some everything you can just assign like this. So now I will show you the hoodie one. You have to just select the hoodie, go to the texture, select this one, and you have to just assign this. You see it is looking perfectly fine like this. Okay, similarly with the other things, go there, select your pant and texture, minimize this thing, select your pants like this. Okay, you see it is looking similar. See, then you have to just go to your shoes, select your shoes, assign it. See, it is looking perfectly fine. And the last thing will be hand. We'll just go to the hand, and then I will select the hand, go to the material, minimize this, select the hand of your static mesh, and then just like this. Okay, so like that you can just apply all the meshes of your these things. So for the hoodie, I already created a different material for my hoodie. So what I can do, I can assign that thing. If I go to hoodie material, there I have my hoodie material. You can see it is a black something like that. So yeah, it is looking like this. And yeah, it is looking perfectly fine. Use this type of static mesh in your like for the main animation, because MetaHuman is good enough. Like it is very good for the main character, like close-up shots. Just use this type of static mesh for the background, something like that. So yeah, you can use this thing. And I found this method, like if you want to modify something in your MetaHuman, then you can do it by this method that I show you right now. But there is a very like a problems in this one. Like the first problem is like you can't use the MetaHuman face rig and the MetaHuman control rig like for the animation. So you need to export this thing into another software to rig that element. And in order to rig this, I use Aquarig. And if you don't know about the Aquarig, it's a free rigging software. You can rig your any character like anything, and it is very useful software. You can use that thing. I already make a tutorial for that aquatic stuff, so you can watch link in the description. And after this, what you have to do, like everything, when everything is done and you want to rig this thing, okay, so what you have to do, you have to just go to this one, your static meshes. You have to go to browse to assets, just filter your static mesh, and what you have to do is you have to select everything, like all your meshes like this. Make sure you select everything. You see, now I selected everything. And what you have to do, you have to just click on the tools option, and there is an option of merge actor. You can click on that one. And before this, make sure that your static meshes are not in nanite form, because if you enable nanite and then you merge the actors, then it will be create like distortion in your meshes, like distortion some kind of. So make sure that it is not nanite meshes, and then you can just export everything, like not export, like merge the actors. You have to just click on the merge, go there and make sure that nanite is disabled. If I go down, there is a nanite setting, make sure that this is disabled, and then you have to just click on merge. Just wherever you want to save this thing, just go to your folder. I will save this, I will use this location, and then you have to just press save. And now you can see it's a complete single static mesh with all your textures. And this one, you can see it's a single static mesh, and this one is individual. You will think like, why I can just do a shortcut, like I can just directly make everything into a static mesh and then I will export it to the Aquatic, like the rigging software. But it will not work, because if you do that type of stuff, then it will be very hard for you to match that like textures. So it will be all messed up. You can't retarget your texture from one static mesh to another. It will be like all the pain work, like it will just all messed up. So I will recommend you to just follow the step that I show you. I not research, like I hit and trial a lot in this one, and I figured this method is working best for this type of static mesh stuff. So just follow this step properly. Do not try to do any kind of shortcut. I can just guarantee you that it will just mess up your stuff, like you couldn't able to match your material from that your shortcut method. So when you make this thing into a static mesh, what you have to do, you have to export this mesh. So you have to just click on this one, go to asset action, then go to export. Okay, you have to just like this, and then you have to save this thing. Make sure that everything is turned off, and you have to export this thing. Okay, then you have to go to your folder, and then you have to just drag drop this thing. It will take some time, and you can see the mesh is here. And now you have to just click on the rig. So after this I will leave these steps because I already make the tutorial. You can watch that thing. So after rigging, you can see it is properly rigged, and you can attach any kind of animation in this character and it will be work perfectly fine in Unreal Engine. And before this, you have to make sure that when you export this FBX, you have to make sure that you use Unreal Engine, because if you use something other like Blender or anything else, it will be not retarget your Unreal Engine animation to this mesh. So just make sure that you enable, like you select Unreal. so that it will be exported the Unreal Engine skeletal, and you can easily retarget the animation from one to another character. Okay, and if you don't know how to retarget your animation, so I already made that tutorial, so you can watch that thing. And yeah, I think that's it for this tutorial. Thank you for watching.